I love this pedal so much. Hey guys, I'm Jack Fossett, and this is real spring reverb. This is the Carl Martin Headroom. It is bulky for a reason. This is real spring reverb. It is very, very simple. It has two channels that you can select from. It's got your bypass switch. It has your reverb select switch. Each reverb has tone and level, so you can set one reverb as like your basic playing reverb. You could set it a little lighter, brighter, or darker, depending on how you want it, and then you could have a second reverb to kick in. Probably you'd want the second reverb to be a little bit deeper, more lush, but you know, it depends on how you use it. This is fabulous. This is that spring reverb tone that you've been looking for. The spring reverb sound that I hear in my head would be that you would get from a Fender black or silver face amplifier. And I've never met a reverb that matched up to those sounds except for this one. This sounds like what you'd hear out of a twin reverb or a super reverb. It just has that rich a reverb tone. I've played some great spring reverb pedals, but they just don't match up to the real thing. Yeah, of course, other styles of reverbs can be great. That's a little bit different. But boy, this just sounds so lush and beautiful and real. It's really fantastic. It can get those really super bright surfy tones if you want and really drench it, or it can just sound like a natural amplifier reverb if you set it lower, and then of course you can use both. Now this fancy thing on the bottom, this you actually unscrew and it kind of moves over and down. That's a lock for the spring so that it doesn't get damaged when you're moving it. So that's kind of cool. Has remote bypass and remote select. I am going to show this off with two brand spanking new fancy Carl Martin pedals in their new exciting enclosures. You have just heard it with this pedal, the new Surf Trem. Now you may be familiar with the Surf Trem. It's been around for a while, but look at this enclosure. I mean, this is really cool. This is one of their new enclosures. Having the Surf Trem and the Headroom, again, it's basically like you can turn your amplifier into the modulation section of a twin reverb. It's awesome. So you've just heard some bright surfy tones with this pair. For that, I was using a Fender Jazzmaster loaded with Lust for Tone 59 Nellies to give you some real righteous surf tones. Now, one of the other underappreciated demographics for spring reverb is the blues crowd. A lot of times when I want spring reverb, I want it for B.B. King tones or earlier blues style tones. So for that, I'm going to add in, again, the DC drive. You know the DC drive, but you don't know it in its new enclosure. Pretty cool. Fantastic overdrive pedal, and I'm going to be using that with a Gibson ES335 loaded with Lust for Tone 57 Lustbuckers. For this demo, we're playing into my Fender Bassman. If you want real spring reverb and you don't want to fiddle around with getting an amplifier modified or any of this, boy, is this the ticket. This is what you want. It is bigger than your average pedal. However, it is a lot smaller than your average Fender or other reverb tank that you would get and plug in, which are basically like the size of amplifier heads. This is a lot more manageable than that. And let's face it, if you want real spring reverb, it has to come in a certain size. I can't say enough good things about this. I love Carl Martin in general, and this is absolutely beyond the stratosphere. Check out the Carl Martin Headroom Reverb. I'm Jack Fossett. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.